What up? What up? Welcome to yet another episode of the Wine Bottles and Washcloth podcast. I am your host, Damo Hicks. One of them actually is, and along with me as usual is the homie Terrence Yates, aka T two times.
1, 2,
aka T double T, aka double T. I don't know. I don't know.
right.
So along with us is our other partner in crime. I guess I shouldn't say partner in crime in these times, but I will say one of our co-hosts, Marcus Brown, aka, as he used to call himself when he first started comedy, Doo.
He's like, no. Oh man, Black Panther.
Yeah. And not just in your regular sense though, not like just the character.
Uh-oh.
But also
the Oakland Black Panther. Oakland's version of Black Panther.
I am T'Challa mixed with Fred Hampton.
Oh, terrible.
All right.
Dude, show them that you really paid for this shit.
I got this off looting in Georgetown. Got this off looting Georgetown to Best Buy. I don't even know. Does Georgetown even have a Best Buy?
Good question. I ain't done that so long. You should have went down to the riots with that shit on. You'd have made the news.
You say what?
You should have went down to the riots with that.
Hey, there was a dude that showed up with a Batman outfit on. The man became walking through the tear gas.
Like
straight up Batman costume.
This is nothing to me.
Somebody stole him out. I should have stole him with a Bane outfit on.
Are you blacks okay? You know, I want you to know Justice League is also against the murder of George Floyd.
Oh man, episode 47, guys.
Episode 47, episode quarantine plus pandemic plus.
Yeah, Terrence's background tells you where we at.
Plus riot plus.
Crazy. Hey, 2020 has been wild as shit.
Hey, 2020 showed up. 2020 showed up and said, I've been listening to you guys over the years. You have all said that this is my year, or I say, go fuck yourself.
Yep.
You are my bitches. 2020 has made motherfuckers its bitch.
Yeah.
Here's the downside to 2020. 2020, we lost a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
We've also had a gang of like crazy shit that happened as far as pandemics. But 2020 now, here's the rise up of the black man.
Yeah.
I mean,
hopefully.
If done properly.
If done properly.
Possibly. But see, okay, let me share it out with this. What scares the shit out of me. I posted this on Instagram where it tells us where we are in the chronology of movies. So you figure RoboCop was supposed to be in 2015. You figure
I know what you're doing.
Right now we around Blade Runner. That's the year that we are.
We are at Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing right now. That's what we're at.
Yeah, but as far as movies, we at Blade Runner. The scary part for me is The Fifth Element is 2263. I don't know if I want to be here for Dune. I don't know if y'all seen that movie.
Who? Dune?
Dune.
Or Doom? D-U-N-E or D-O-O-M?
D-U-N-E.
That's my shit.
That's a scary ass movie to be there. I don't want. It's good to watch.
You talking about with the sandworms and
the sandworms and the niggas with the bright blue and red eyes and shit.
Yeah.
But we are only at Blade Runner.
Hey, let me tell you something. But sneaker game wise, we are at Back to the Future too.
What?
Man, but think about that. Back to the Future 2 was 2015.
That's what I'm saying. We just getting the self-lacing joints for real.
But we're not even there. Well, yeah.
We just getting the self-lacing joints.
And we had them fake-ass hoverboards.
Well, they still was on the ground, though. I don't know why you call them hoverboards, but they still on the ground. I never understood that.
Not hovering at all. Yes. But this shit is scary. The fact that these niggas are outside burning down everything.
Okay, so first off, I would like to say that there's a lot of implants that's doing that shit. There's Antifa. There is police itself. There's like undercover cops doing the shit.
Yeah.
There is all kinds like a lot of videos that I've seen of shit being burnt is always a white boy standing around it. Matter of fact, there was a video that I posted on Facebook where there was people standing by in front of a store, and then they walked away from the store, and then these white boys came running up with skateboards, mind you. It was just busting the window in with skateboards, and you heard the black protesters saying, "Stop!"
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing that sparked it off in Minnesota was a dude with the double face mask jump, identified by his wife,
the dude with the umbrella,
as a motherfucking St. Paul PD cop.
Yep.
Shocking.
And your wife set you up. That's that bullshit.
Hey, you know what? The dude who got choked out. I mean, the dude who choked out the George Floyd. He got arrested. Well, the mugshot ain't him. Though. That's another white boy.
That's another question. That's another
white boy. But his wife, who is also the sister of the little fat Asian boy that they keep showing, she bounced. She was like,
"Hey, I ain't mad at her though. No.
Here's the thing. So they got him and said the whole point of them even being called to the Floyd thing was because they said he passed. Well, actually, they said something different the first time. Second time, they said he passed a fake 20. Now, mind the internet has said that dude's wife, the officer that choked him to death, his wife, who left him, was also arrested for fake checks.
Yeah.
So I would like to say that to all my people out there that is going to go out and protest, if you were even going to go riot, I am not even against all that. Just do like they did with the Rodney King verdict. Don't touch black-owned businesses because that defeats the purpose. Also, get the buildings and the people that affect this situation. City halls, police departments, courthouses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's the shit. If you want to show your anger, fuck that shit up. Because they are the ones that have made this shit to the breaking point. Also, if you see a motherfucker that don't belong in the protest, i.e. an implant, Antifa, random white boys with a sword, AK or bow and arrows, or just out there just throwing bricks or planting bricks, or you throw, grab them and fuck their ass up, because what they trying to do is they are trying to incite this bitch and turn it from a protest into a war. Yes, we are angry. Yes, we are fucking shit up. But however, we ain't at war status yet.
Yeah.
This is prior to war status. Once it gets to war status, this country ain't built for that shit. And also to white people that are out here talking shit and talking about, I don't understand why they're tearing up everything. Remember what you did to Black Wall Street. Remember what you did to Tulsa. Remember what you did to anything black related. Remember what you did to Emmett Till, how you went and grabbed him out his mama house. Remember all that shit. And then you combine all the shit that you sat back and you watched happen. And you understand that black folks is tired of taking the shit. We not our grandparents. We not our grandparents' grandparents. We will fuck you up. Period.
See,
point blank.
Look at this. If you think about, and I told somebody this on Facebook, think about everything else that Trump has touched, how he left it when he was done with it.
Beat the fuck up.
United States is the same thing. We can talk about the USFL. We can talk about Trump University. We can talk about all the Trump casinos. We can keep going and going. You leave the shit fucked up and you point out whose fault it was. Well, here we are. Oh, that place burned up. That's the Democrats. Yep. Now that people say, well, what does Nancy Pelosi have to say about this? Who gives a fuck? Who listens to you listen to the president and nobody else. The shit starts at the top. The ball rolls downhill.
There is no other country that is out here like, well, the president didn't say anything. I wonder what their Speaker of the House had to say.
Who gives a shit? Everybody has to kill before I care about what she says.
Exactly.
But in the same time, though, people have to recognize that this is just my opinion. I've always felt like black people, we walk around looking for the opportunity to whoop somebody's ass and be in the right.
Yes.
In other words, you slap a grandmother, I will beat the shit out of you right here because I'm in the right. And that's what you saw yesterday with my boy Hawkeye.
And Leonardo.
And which Ninja Turtle is it?
Yeah, Leonardo.
Yep.
Leonardo ran up on the wrong clique of niggas, and Raphael, Donatello,
and Michelangelo,
no Splinter, none of them niggas was there to help him. And down went Frazier.
Hey, so let me tell you something. So they showed up to the joint looking to start fucking trouble with protesters though.
Yeah.
They weren't there for the protest. They went there, and there's also a bitch that hit a couple protesters with her fucking car that blocked the streets.
I did see that.
Let's not forget that too. That's a thing too. So these motherfuckers is out here trying to take the shit and add into it like they frustrated white folks that don't want to see this shit happen. However, you don't understand that there is more. First off, let's be smart, right? You showed up to a protest. Look behind Terrence. That's at least 20,000 motherfuckers. You came with a hunting bow. That one arrow, and you ain't Hawkeye.
Right? He didn't do this.
He came with one joint, and that motherfucker shot that bitch into the crowd and hit somebody in the fucking head with the shit.
For real?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you gotta beat the shit out of him then.
And they decided, and I don't know if it was white folk, black folk, or a combination of the two, but the end all be all of it all is he got Ronda Rousey at the end of her career. Like not early Ronda Rousey. He got end career Ronda Rousey.
Oh, and they burned his car too.
And they burned his motherfucking car. And this motherfucker tried to show up and got interviewed by the news and was like, yeah, I was here and two black guys did this to me. Yeah,
white guys and three Spanish guys and one nigga we don't know what he is. They all fucked you up together.
Let me tell you also is that the boy with the sword, my man 300, he showed up to that bitch. I saw that video. Motherfuckers was, as you said it, Marcus, motherfuckers was running away from this crazy ass white boy with a sword until somebody was like, oh, get the fuck. Let me tell you something. That's one thing black people would do. We look at the motherfucker and be like, get the fuck.
Well,
somebody.
Well, you know, if one person start running, everybody start running, and that's what happened.
One person stepped to the side.
One person looked back and said, "That's where we're running from."
Hey, look, all that means is I gotta just get closer than the knife. That's all that means.
That's it.
We learned this from Mike Tyson. All it takes is this.
That's right.
Now I'm right in here with you.
See, we learned that not just from Mike Tyson. We learned that from Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Right. And look, but then when they jumped him though, what made it bad was
he went to sleep. That motherfucker went to sleep and just bled.
When they jumped him, I saw that and I was like, yeah, those are black people right there. All that other shit might have been white people, but that's us. Because when they were jumping them, all you heard was just this, like, bitch ass nigga, you bitch ass nigga. And then you saw other people like, nah, nigga, let me get through too. And then at the end, as everybody was leaving, you saw that one last nigga that was like, oh, nigga.
This motherfucker bought a sword.
You just saw him on the ground.
Okay, so can I tell you that this alone is between the bow and the sword, right? This is how you know that when they do all of those fantasy movies, like Lord of the Rings and shit, there's no black people in Middle Earth.
You niggas buy and they buy into
with a bow and a sword. You literally had to show up with a dragon for us to be like, oh shit, that nigga got a dragon. And as soon as you get off of it, oh, we stealing that dragon.
We stealing that.
We stealing that dragon.
I want to watch it now because I want to see did anybody take the sword at the end, like nigga. And I'm taking this too, nigga.
Oh, he definitely didn't go home with it.
I don't steal niggas. I kill niggas.
Yeah, he definitely didn't. He definitely didn't go home. If anything, they took that shit and just and threw it in the sewer just so he can't.
Hold on. He didn't get home. He didn't go home that night anyway. He's not home now. That nigga is
that motherfucker is still laid out there leaking.
That nigga is somewhere drinking, unlike you just drank like this. Like, yeah.
That was a piece of ice that I got caught in my
No, I'm talking about he's sitting somewhere talking like Kanye West on his first song Through the Wire.
to get my Joe Ward short.
Joe Ward. I sound like 50 Cent right here when he first came out because he had his Joe Ward shut, nigga.
Bruh, this shit is wild. And you know what though? I am definitely not mad at it because it is about time where I get the whole protesting and shit, but marching just ain't doing it.
But this ain't a protest no more. This is never rebellion.
And these motherfuckers show up with crazy shit and they want to add violence to the party. Whoop they ass.
Let me say this too though. Yeah, because the video we talked about earlier, where the guy shows up and it lets you know it's a setup. Where he's sitting there talking into the camera, he's like, "Yeah, look, y'all, this shit is a setup though. You know why?
Oh.
There's a pile of bricks right here just waiting for us to throw. Ain't no construction going on. Why is there a pile of bricks here?" And I'm saying, you see the white person like, "Thank you."
My man said, he said, "I was just here for jury duty 2 months ago. There was no construction."
But look, that's when you look at him like, nigga, you know you ain't go to no motherfucking jury duty, nigga.
And then you see a white boy walk past like, "My God, bricks hurl." Let me tell you something.
God.
If people are as stupid to think, right, that black folks out here look at the history of it. All black folks have ever done is march. Even the Black Panther Party showed up to shit with their guns and just stood there.
Yeah.
That's not what we do. We don't do shit like that. The people that fuck up shit is the motherfuckers who listen. Who plays the fight riff? You ain't never seen the Dave Chappelle episode? They like, play the fight riff. And then motherfuckers just start elbowing folks. That's what they do. Look what mosh pits like. That's what they do. Burning down shit. Who burns crosses? Black people too busy loving Jesus to burn a cross.
We're not burning shit. And because we burn it, we sitting there like, hold on. Who paying for this gasoline? Ain't nobody got no extra money.
Exactly. You know how much gas costs?
Yeah, what, nigga? I ain't got enough gas to get home. And you want me to spend it on burn these niggas? Fuck out of here.
To throw, yes, we have the best arms in football. Yes, we have the best arms in baseball. But we not throwing no bricks and shit.
Not at all. Not at all. We throw these hands.
You might need that brick to bust a motherfucker's head open. You never know when a motherfucker run up on you wrong.
Brick on me. You never know when you run into Debo.
Building.
I'm going to keep this brick because Debo might try to run up on me. And that's how Craig won in Friday.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
So
and Craig threw it, but he threw it close range, right here. Yeah.
So with all this going on and all these protesting and fires and everything, hey, did anybody forget about COVID-19 and coronavirus? I mean, that shit's still out here. That shit is still here. And
niggas wearing the wrong ski mask with their nose out and their mouth out.
Yeah, I mean, it's still here. So now we got bigger groups of people out here sweating because now it's like 80 degrees outside. So everybody's
and
sweating, touching.
You touch the brick and throwing the brick. Now that brick is a
sweating, touching everything. I mean, yelling and screaming at each other. I mean,
Corona brick.
Right. That shit is.
I'll tell you what. In the grand scheme of it, right? Yes, coronavirus is still out here, which brings me to a second point, but I'll get to that point later. I digress. But as long as motherfuckers wear their masks, not only are you wearing a mask to conceal your identity.
Hopefully, because that white cop had a mask on, and that didn't.
Hey, let me tell you, this he not only did he have a mask, he had one of them masks that motherfuckers use at Mako to give you a paint job. That joint and the two things on the side and everything.
Yeah. But this shows you also you gotta watch who you trust because both of these guys, their wives snitched them out. Their wives showed them that I ain't got your back, nigga.
So I believe I don't know who sang the song, but the song is, and I guess white people don't listen to it, is "These hoes ain't loyal."
Chris Brown joint.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
These hoes ain't loyal.
I feel like Willie D should be featured in that song for some reason. I'm just putting him in that song.
I feel like Willie D should be the spokesperson for all protests.
No.
And I feel like his main slogan should be, "You ain't never seen a motherfucker kill a motherfucker like a motherfucker named Willie D, motherfucker."
And the minute he says that, I'm sitting there looking at everybody else like, this is our leader? This is what we following? I don't want to be. No.
Dude, I would rather follow him than a motherfucker that we got now. I would rather follow him than a cheese doodle.
This nigga is such an idiot that he just hears stuff. You know, I hear stuff and I share it, not knowing that what I just shared has a history of racism, but I've been hearing this my whole life. I'm like,
this motherfucker said, we're going to, if they come here and protest, we're going to sick vicious dogs on them.
Yep.
And ominous weapons. What is an ominous weapon, my guy?
You know what I wanted so bad? I wanted them to get into the White House.
Tweet when I saw that. I was like, that can't be real.
Oh, no, that's real.
I know until I looked it up. I was like, this motherfucker actually did tweet this shit out.
Nigga,
I wanted them to get into the White House. I wanted them to get in, not to kill Trump, not to even fuck him up. I just wanted them to publicly just slap him around. Like, look, this your friend, this your man, right? Look how I'm slapping him. Look, like on Chicago PD when he gets them niggas in the basement. Look.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing this.
So what they should do is they should go to Chicago, Vegas, LA, DC, fuck the White House. Trump Towers exist in all
those states, right?
New York, all of them. He gonna get the insurance money from it, but fuck that shit up.
Go to Florida. Go to the golf, because that's his mainstay. Is the golf?
Yeah.
Is the
golf course?
Came up.
The Row.
But go there, and after you fuck
Villa
it
Lago,
up,
one of them.
After you fuck it up, burn up the golf course too. Like, nigga, you ain't golfing here no more. How about that?
Just
golf is over, nigga.
Put some weed and feed down and shit to burn up the grass. Like motherfuckers who don't got a green thumb, you put down some Diazonal or some shit.
Round up for everybody. Nigga, throw salt on the land like they used to do back in the day when you took over somebody else's village. You burn it and then you put salt down so can't nothing grow ever here.
Bruh, let me tell you
and
something.
Put fuck you Trump on there.
Let me tell you something. Here, so you say something about Corona. Here's my question of the day to all the listeners and to you guys. Here's my question of the day. If you see these people out and about, right? We've all seen the video of these motherfuckers who bitching and complaining about wearing masks and feel like they shouldn't have to wear masks. It's a violation of their rights. I need a haircut, but I don't want to wear no fucking mask, blah, 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 blah. You see these people, a motherfucker goes out, don't wear no mask, nobody says nothing to them, they contract the coronavirus. Do you care if they die?
I don't.
Me neither.
A little bit.
I don't give a fuck.
Only if it costs me, because it might cost me somehow with your dying.
It ain't gonna cost you shit.
It might cost me something somehow. If it comes back to me, then I'm mad as shit that you went out and caught this shit.
So I posted that shit on Facebook, and somebody said to me, a friend of mine hit the shit and was like, that person is causing more people to possibly get it. And my reply to them was, yeah, but not anymore. Because they might infect who they infect, but after that, their run is over. They did exactly what they could do, and then they had a career-ending injury.
Speaking of injuries and corona, I know you all have seen how they now are coming out trying to say that, and this is where this is the only part where I may have to have some type of connection with our president, because some of this news, when it comes out, is fake. Because how you gonna come out and then tell us that this dude may have died from pre-existing injuries, not from a grown man sitting on his neck for 9 minutes with his 3 friends beside him sitting on your back? You gonna tell me about his high blood pressure and the fact that he had sniffles and he had coughing, sneezing, all the other stuff.
Aching, stuffy head.
Right.
You can rest medicine, all of that shit.
So, I mean,
I'm like, you gonna say that? But meanwhile, let that white man has sat on a dog's neck for 9 minutes on camera.
Hey,
people would have locked him up.
I was just about to say that, Damo. They fuck with a cat, and the motherfuckers went nuts.
I'm like, what do you really gonna sell that? You're gonna sell that? That's
so. I can tell you 1,000 times over what police are trained to do and what they are not trained to do, right?
But yet, why is that always the go-to move? But you're not trained to do that, but all you niggas who don't know each other are still doing this shit.
So, again, we'll take all that out. Take all that out. Moreover, right? Why is it that, and this is how you know this is the bullshit, right? And I seen this, I forgot who posted this shit. I can't even think about. I seen the video, and I'm gonna say the same thing that they said, and then I'm gonna add I'm gonna take it up a notch, because they said that if you know for a fact, this motherfucker knew for a fact he was being taped. Look at the camera.
Yeah.
Continue to do what he was doing. Most people will stop, like, I'm picking my nose. Oh, camera, stop it, right? No, this motherfucker was like, I'm kneeling on this motherfucker, looked at the camera like, right?
Yeah.
Kept doing it. So you knew good and goddamn well what was happening.
He knew what he was doing.
So at that point right there, because that happened, and you want to do all the totality of circumstances, which is what law is consisted of, the totality of circumstance, that has everything to do with it. Not to mention that at the time that shit happened, his 4 little cronies that were with him, one of those bitch ass motherfuckers should have arrested his ass off the break. That's where they should not have waited
or at least just say, come on, go ahead, man. Go ahead with that. You ain't got to, come on. You good.
We got him.
He was down. He was unresponsive. I mean, damn, get your fucking neck, your knee off his neck. But like you said, Marcus, they're saying he got pre-existing conditions and all that. It doesn't matter. Say I got all these conditions. Say I got all these pre-existing conditions, and there's a lot of people who have died from pre-existing conditions from COVID, but they still say they died from fucking COVID. They didn't say they died of diabetes. Right. They didn't say they died of something. Nothing else. They say they died of COVID. So this dude, even though he had all those things, that fucking knee in his throat is what took him out.
Murder
is what took him out.
And to be completely honest, not even the fact that he possibly suffocated, is the fact that you got a grown 200-pound man on your spinal cord,
on your artery, you're cutting off an artery,
right? Which is not built for that.
And the man can't do it because the man was cuffed. So you had him down and cuffed. But so he couldn't do anything.
Think about
there's also video of them beating the fuck out this nigga inside the truck.
I ain't seen that, but here's my thing, right? My wife we'll lay in the bed and she'll lay her head on my arm. And I tell her,
this is going bad.
No, I know what he's saying. After about 2 or 3 minutes, you just like, man, that shit's uncomfortable.
Hey, my arm is limp, is gone dead because you cut off a major artery here.
I feel like this
is my bad.
I feel like this was going down the Brown family sex tape.
No,
I don't know about that. I don't know about the Brown family sex tape.
Well, since you drove us there, our sex doesn't start off with her laying on my arm. But
hey, too soon.
But if you put a knee on, and here's the thing too, I saw a video of a guy who was like a Chinese black belt, and he was doing a similar move.
Nigga, what is a Chinese black belt?
That means
that's a different level, Dave.
Let me tell you, every black belt I have in my closet was made in China.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about it at all. You're talking about a reversible belt that has brown leather on the other side. No, but they showed the guy doing that with the knee on him. But
you talking martial arts, nigga? You clearly hit a people.
My bad. I'm sorry. I heard the kid. I know, my wife left, and I heard footsteps. I'm like, the revolution is on. But
that's right.
But he had his knee.
Hey, I got a story for your ass, but go ahead and tell your shit. I'll tell you.
He had his knee on the guy's head, similar, but he knew exactly, okay, I need to put this right here, not right here. This guy is not going to die while I'm showing y'all this, as opposed to this officer who done killed this nigga.
Okay, so first off, I will say this. As I was in a police academy before, fired because I choked out this white boy, and they didn't fuck with me.
That'll do it. You're ahead of your time, Damo.
So hey, I keep trying to tell people, bro, I'm out here in these streets. So look, one thing they do tell you is, and this is to hold like a person's arm or something down, is if you kneel, but your knee is a point of contact on the ground, but their hand is in between your foot, like how your foot is like this, and then your the way your ankle is. So you pretty much are trapping that shit in between. You know what I'm saying? You're trapping this shit in between this part, like in between your foot and ankle. So that little curve right there, you're trapping it there, and you put your foot underneath of it, and then you lock your knee down on the ground, and that traps there. It kind of like acts as a small cuff between you and the ground. That shit would still have allowed, even if they had done that, it still would have allowed that man to breathe. And it would also it would have gave him the opportunity to breathe. It also would have you know what I'm saying, kept him down. But he was already restrained. So at that point,
that's my whole point. He was already restrained. And
so with that being said, that fact and the fact that his boys just sat around like, do it, Daryl, do it. That bullshit.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. That was the Chinese dude.
Hey, nigga, I have come to the conclusion that you are perfectly against the Chinese right now. And I don't know if it had anything to do with the sword or what.
They sent this dirty cop. They sent the sword that the guy ran up on the other guy with. They sent Corona. You know what? I'm just kidding. I'm down with the Chinese because y'all watch this podcast.
I think we've had some.
We got Chinese, don't we? We got China.
I think we do. We had a couple of new ones. I know we had Romania. We just got them.
So okay, so this is what I want. This is okay. Speaking of all the people that listen or are streaming it in other countries, thank you for your protests in other countries, because I will say this protest right now has also been widespread, just like the pandemic, and that shit to me
worldwide
lets us know as people of color that you pay attention to our struggle in this motherfucker.
Oh, let me give you
that shit has been going on for years.
To all you white folk that have remained curiously silent as fuck, it's your chance. You can't use the N-word, but this is your chance to show that you're down with the team.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers ain't down with no team. They say in their mind they down with the team, right? In their mind, they think because they go out and they volunteer at a soup kitchen, or they volunteer at a inner city school, that they down. But when it comes down to this here, my nigga, this here right here, nigga, you ain't down with no team, because what you're doing is you posting shit on your Facebook saying, don't burn up anything. This doesn't make sense. You're not showing anything right by burning up stuff. Here's the problem though. White folks be burning up shit since day one. And I posted this today on Facebook. America should be named the United States of do as I say, not as I do. Because America was built off of looting, stealing. Every fucking museum we got has been filled with shit that's been stolen from another fucking culture, country, or anything else. Ask the Native Americans. Ask Emmett Till if motherfuckers was supporting him. Ask that shit. Ain't no riot happening from that bullshit.
You think about every single, first of all, and this is what I had to tell somebody the other day. I said, yeah, you see the president blowing his dog whistle too, right? They was like, what? You can read minds now? I'm like, nigga, I can't read minds, but I can read between the lines. And this nigga just said thugs, and we know who he's talking about when he says thugs.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
When the same behavior is shown at a big white college campus after they win the championship,
hold on,
thugs never presented.
Hold on, it was just when all those people were in the state house and the state buildings with weapons, he said, "Good people."
Yes,
he said, "Take care of those good people." I see good people.
I had to tell the guy, I'm like, look, I know the message. I can read the message, and the message is loud and clear.
Let me tell you this, and then I will digress from this topic. A motherfucker, and I have no idea who the fuck he is, on my Facebook page said black folks need to be armed. because I posted something about how a motherfucker innocent protest, a nonviolent protest is always ended with some type of violence, whether it's from the police or whatever the case may be, is always initiated. And yet these motherfucking white boys could stand on the steps of a federal building where guns are illegal on federal property, stand there and police just look at them like, right?
Oh, so, and they're not just standing there.
They don't even bring tear gas and none of that shit to the
and they ain't just standing there, they're yelling at them. Yelling at them.
Right. So this is what the white boy said, though. The white boy said, notice how police don't do shit to the violent, the people who bring guns, but they do shit every single time to the do non-violent protests. He was like, arm yourselves, black folks. This is what he put. Arm yourselves, black folks. That's what he said. And then I said, hold up. So then he said, either die like a warrior. This is what he said. Now, I don't agree with this part. He said, die like a warrior or die like the Jews. That's what he said. What does that mean?
Well, see, here's the problem with that, though. Because
that's crazy. I don't even know this motherfucker, but that's what he said.
If I'm going to do that, I got to keep it with me. Like, literally, we need to talk while I'm armed. Because otherwise, if you ask me for some license and I reach back to get it, well, now we're back in Minnesota.
Orlando Castile.
There it is.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me that you're scared. If I show you this, of course you now scared of black man.
They scared as soon as you showed up and showed them this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when they fail to realize.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, I saw a video of a white guy, and it's an old video, who comes out with an axe in his hand, and the police fuck him down. And I don't even think they pull weapons out. And it's like, come on, man.
I think I saw that. Is that the one with the guy? He had a machete and like a hatchet and was swinging it. And they were backing up away from him.
I've seen videos of black dudes killed for that.
Oh yeah, you ain't got to do
nothing.
Right,
so what you do is, apparently, right? According to how shit works is you gotta come to the whole table, just arm to the teeth. There's no such thing as non-violent. I guess what they're saying is, and this is, and like I said, I'm just going off of what the white boy said. The white boy said, go out like a warrior. So either have it on you or don't.
Well,
hey, look, let me say, I got a buddy of mine that I work with. He always got a gun on him. I'm dead serious. And look, and I see him and I be like, so he be like, oh, it's in my bag. I be like, all the time.
Okay, so here's the issue though. The issue is that you have to have it on you, right?
Yeah.
Then you have even if it's lawful, you go to show that it's lawful, you get shot for showing that it's lawful.
Hey, look, man.
It don't even the playing for it don't even the playing field like it should.
I feel you. Hey, look, it is a black dude. This was months ago. It wasn't even 2020 it was the beginning of the year. It was the beginning of the year. Last time I saw him, and I was like, he was like, oh, it's in my bag. Like we was at a meeting. It was like we were in a conference room, in like a meeting area. We had like a training, and I was like, I'm sitting next to you. He was like, why? I said, because I know. He was like, yeah, it's in my bag. I said, if anything break off, I'm with you.
You one step away. You one call away.
And I said, dude, we in DC, man. I said, I know you ain't got to. He said, man, I don't care. And his thing, he's always told me, I didn't know him for about 8 years now. He told me all the time. He said, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Hey, and the statement I've always said is, I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Two things I want to bring up though. There are two people right now, or two different groups of people. One of these groups is happy as hell that this all kicked off, and one of them is blown as hell. The group that is blown, and I don't even know if it was these people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are definitely blown.
Because they're sitting there excited as hell about it sending off a spaceship, and nobody gives a rat's ass.
Nobody could give a damn. Yeah.
But you done left the Earth.
Okay, so the thing with that is that NASA needed my man Elon Musk to even do that shit because government shut down NASA.
Yeah.
Right? Right. Elon Musk literally sent a fucking Tesla into space off of his own launching pad. Like, fuck it, let's let's see what we can do. I need to get home because everybody knows Elon Musk is a goddamn alien. Everybody. He sent some motherfuckers off, and the ship was like, "Hey, tell my mama and them." I said, "We on our way, and we might have some folks with us, and they all happen to be black." I don't know, whatever the case may be. I don't know what Tesla's doing, but I would say this is that this motherfucker, the SpaceX program. It's a long time that they took to send some motherfuckers in space, and this shit took away from it. However, it has been posted that the motherfuckers that went into space have made a better choice than staying in this motherfucker.
Hey, I was watching it expecting to see elementary school. I'm like,
what? The Challenger? You wanted to see the Challenger?
Dude, I remember that shit like it was yesterday.
Look,
they wheeled that cart into the room back in the day, and they put that shit on TV.
The AV
wheeled that shit right back out.
So, kids, we're going to subtraction.
Like, we was all like, what the hell? Was that supposed to happen?
Like, Miss Taylor, you want us to see that?
That's the AV card.
Back to math.
Yeah, the AV card. It had a VCR like held down.
Yep.
Screwed down.
It had to be all locked up because they knew that somebody was gonna steal that shit.
TV was screwed into the cart. And everything.
He was blowing. Somebody else had the cart. Like, damn. Johnson class got the cart. Fuck. Them dumbass kids.
Hilarious, man. That's
and
funny.
Dave Chappelle. I think he's happy that this stuff kicked off.
Dave, huh?
Hey, what's my girl name? Well, I won't even say my girl because that bitch ain't shit. But Azalea Banks came out and made statements about how she been sleeping with married celebrities and whatever, and decided to drop Dave Chappelle's name. Like, here, bam, I slept with him, and ain't none of y'all celebrities coming out to have my back when shit gets thick. So, and then says, yep, and I've been sleeping with Dave Chappelle. But then was like, but Dave got some good dick. Dave been taking me down. And so, Dave never got a chance to respond because...
No, he's not going to respond to that shit. Why would the fuck would Dave Chappelle respond to that bullshit?
Well, I mean, he's married, so...
Look, nigga, look, let me tell you something. If a dumpster fire happens in your neighborhood, do you fucking talk about how great the dumpster was?
Yeah, but as a married man, if somebody comes out publicly and says, I fucked Marcus while he was married, all my wife is going to do is first say, that bitch lying, and they're going to do one of these. Isn't she? And I better respond. I better have a, oh yeah, that bitch lying. Yeah. Ain't that bitch got to die. I got to kill her.
So my response would be, she's a cum dump, bro. Like, look at who talking about it. It's not like it's Halle Berry saying it or it's somebody respectable. This is
you might want to admit to it. Like Sally Richardson said I had sex with her. She said that shit?
So Azalea Banks, by default, nobody fucks with. Hence why she's saying the shit to be relevant. She trumps with her shit, right? Yeah. So her shit is completely fucked. This bitch has a, like I said before we even started recording, she has a hairstylist, makeup artist, abortionist, because she's a cum dump. All of these people on her team, somebody got to suck out all them jizz babies. That's just, no, don't do it. Don't do it. You put that finger back. You put that finger back in the post.
If it was somebody else, I'd go there, but she deserves all that you're saying. But
she's garbage, bro.
She's lucky that she's alive, because if I was Dave Chappelle, I'd drag her to a rally.
Look, let me tell you something.
We going to this riot.
If she shows up at a protest, somebody from Antifa is gonna grab that bitch and throw her at a building.
Yeah, stand right here, bitch. Light it on fire. Get it started.
They gonna throw her at a target.
They gonna take the crossbow and aim at her.
Oh shit.
They better not, because you know how much cum will just come shooting out of her. It's like she'd be like a water balloon full of cum. She'd be like, she'd be everywhere. Everybody had jizz on their face and everything.
That's a visual that he's created for our listeners. I'm glad that people who listen that don't watch the video.
Yeah. Well,
everybody gets it. Yeah.
Well, didn't you say you had some red pill, blue pills, or some stuff for
I
us
do,
today?
actually. I
Or
do.
you had a question of the day.
We had the question of the day. Here's the red pill, blue pill. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Red pill. Stay in the house in a pandemic situation that is possibly, matter of fact, not even possibly, will get worse over time and then possibly dilute. You know for a fact it will dilute within the next 2 years. Right? Or blue pill, shit the way it is right now, where you have black folks standing up for themselves and all this shit. We could come to a head and turn into something, but however, it seems like it could go into the way where it opens up shit and frees us as a people. Not really free, but you know what I'm saying? It could turn into something good, but there will be casualties. Red pill, blue pill.
I'm going with the coronavirus. Reason being is
So you much rather have shit back in April.
Yeah. And the reason why is I told somebody, I said, with all this that's going on, there is no plan. Meaning, you can't, so they can say, okay, all right, cut this shit out. Everybody cut it out. Let's talk. What's up? Nobody has a plan because there needs to be some type of, look, I need this change to happen in policy because we're not going to change people. The people who are out here who are racist, they've been racist. These are the sons of racists. These are the people who, when you saw bodies hanging, you saw the white people smiling, looking at it. This is them. This is them and their kids. So I don't feel like we have a plan in terms of we need this change to happen. Because people say we need to stop police brutality. We do, but what's going to change as far as policies that are accepted? And those aren't planned out.
But sometimes you got to say fuck policy and just go into the fact that you got to make police brutality not happen. Run up on them motherfuckers.
I understand that.
Tupac said that shit years ago. He said, take the guns away from a cop and kill a motherfucking cop that is not any good to the community.
That's what here's the problem is that there has to be some type of, if you don't put something in place, then they're going to keep doing it. Because the real problem in all of this is that there's no consequences for when the cops do this. That's what the issue is.
The consequence is the streets fuck you up.
See, that doesn't get anywhere.
And they can hold us accountable.
Right.
They're not holding them accountable.
And I agree with you, Marcus, because did y'all hear Killer Mike's little? He had like an 8-minute video.
Yeah, I seen that joint.
I thought it was great, and that's exactly what he's saying. He's like, right now we just run around burning buildings and stuff like that, doing dumb shit, emotional shit like that, and it's just like, all right, well, where does this go? Where do we go from here? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Now you don't have a target in your neighborhood.
So what his thing was, he said you need to plot.
You shouldn't have called it target if you wanted one.
Plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize.
Yeah.
Right. So while people are burning, I need somebody in a back room, a guarded back room. Like, nah, you ain't coming in here. No, ain't no coming in. But somebody in a room at a table, and I ain't talking about the table Trump talks about. I'm talking about another table where they say, look, this is the plan. This is what we got to do. This is what we want. We're not accepting nothing less than this. Whatever. So I'd rather deal with this corona shit because at least if I stay in the house and stay away from dirty motherfuckers, I can at least avoid it somewhat.
Yeah.
Well, you got Karen and her husband out here talking about they can't get haircuts. And I ain't never heard white people talk about haircuts more than anybody. I think they just do that shit just because they won't come out the house.
They won't come outside. They not used to motherfuckers telling them what to do. And telling them ever.
Which is made evident by watching little Joshua in a grocery store take Oreos off the shelf.
No, Mom. No.
Yep.
Meanwhile, us as kids, we getting snatched up like.
I mean, just
make me say it again. Make me get up again. My wife has a saying that she loves, and I love it. She's like, "Wait, act the clown so I can set up the circus."
Yeah. Look, Mark's like, I don't even want no part of that.
That's when I pick up my son. Like, you know what? It's me and you, little homie, because they got something to iron out over there. We got it. But Morgan knows I better shut the fuck up because this lady's crazy. And I'm sitting there looking at Morgan like,
what is it? Act the clown so I can set up the circus?
act the clown so I can set up the circus.
Hey, that's some shit my grandfather would probably say.
Yeah.
There you go.
And think about what came after that. Think about what was involved with that circus from your grandfather. Like Nicole,
I'm saying
like,
he ain't never said, but that sounds like some old nigga shit.
Nicole told her
That sounds like some old nigga shit.
He said, I'm gonna go get a switch. I'm looking at Morgan like, hey Morgan, I know you don't know what a switch is, but you don't want no parts of a switch.
Yeah.
Go, you better go sit down. Daddy got your back. Daddy letting you know.
Let me tell you what set up the circus sounds like. Nigga, that shit sounds like I will destroy you, wipe the fingerprints off the body, and get away scot-free.
I can have it. I can have another kid.
Right.
I can start over again.
Well, no, hold on.
That sounds like some Jean-Benet Ramsey shit.
What'd you say?
No, she can't. We done tied some stuff off. And once again, Damo, I know this is going down a different road, but ain't gonna be no extra kids. That shit is safe.
You can adopt a girl her same age
Yeah,
and replace her ass.
Fuck that. We'll let the world tell your story like Jean-Benet.
Hey, I'm picturing somebody getting their ass whooped while this is playing in the background.
Look.
Oh
Look, nigga, she get her ass whooped, and there's that who's that? Melissa Etheridge song, In the Arms of that shit they show when they play the dog abuse joints.
Oh my God.
With the dog sitting there waiting to be euthanized.
Yeah, the dog will be like,
I've been hurt so bad.
Oh God.
Chicks in my nose for years.
Oh. Yeah, that's why that's ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm walking away.
In the arms of an angel.
Okay, hold on. So I got one for you then. Since you had a red pill, blue pill one. And I'll share where this came from at the end. My question for you, you got two options. Either you're gonna get hit in your man area
In the jump.
with a brick that requires immediate emergency surgery. Or get hit in the get hit in the face with a bag of slurry. I had to ask him, what the fuck is slurry? He said it's a mix of shit and piss.
And whatever else they can find.
Whatever else they can put in there. You get hit with that in the face and in your mouth and throat area, requiring you to throw up in the ER for 6 hours.
I think I take the brick. I'm gonna take the brick.
Yeah. I'm gonna go brick only
I'm gonna
because
go brick.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because in the era of Corona, I don't want your fecal and piss in nowhere close to my face. I'm gonna take the brick because yes, it's gonna hurt.
Yes.
But yes, the hospital also has painkillers, and I really don't want no more kids.
and like you said, with the brick, I know what comes with that. I know it's gonna be a lot of pain, and like you said, the hospital and everybody else that already dealt with this shit. They done with something like that before. You get hit in the face with that, man. You don't know what the hell you getting.
A bag full of porta potty, nigga, stop. Stop it. Because I don't know who participated in this bag filling. I don't know what you ate. I don't know what your lifestyle like.
You don't know where this shit came from, literally.
Didn't Dave Chappelle say that? Your mouth is like a porta
potty.
Oh.
My body's a porta potty. That's what it's talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna say once it goes down your throat, your body is a porta potty.
My body is a porta potty.
Well, I brought up that question because these were two things that took place in Washington, D.C. in the past 24 hours. According to a first responding police officer friend of mine who picked this question up.
So that's a real.
That's real.
Red pill or blue pill.
Hold up though. Outside of that, what else did they ask him to do though?
In terms of him as a cop?
Yeah.
Well, he's park police. And which is, I feel bad because I told him and I told others that all those polices overlap in the area where it was going on.
So you do understand that park police are so spread out that nobody would recognize one if they saw them.
True. Unless you're in uniform, then hey, that nigga's the police.
But what did they ask him to do?
In those situations?
No. What did they ask him to come to work and do?
So he had to come to work. One, he had to be prepared to dress undercover.
There it is. Stop it right there. Boom. These are the motherfuckers that are infiltrating the fucking protest, turning it into crazy shit.
No.
They asking for that shit, bro.
No. And I'm gonna say this not with him, because he's more of the one of when that bag of shit gets thrown. If he's right beside you, I would want you to do something like this. Hey man, look, don't throw that bag of piss and shit and fecal matter at them, because I'm a cop and you're under arrest. Come on with me. As opposed to, let's fight everybody! Let's riot!
Play the fight riff. Oh, say does that star spangled. That's America's fight riff.
That's the fight riff?
That's the fight riff for America.
Cool.
Everybody knows that shit. Why they don't play that shit in schools? They took out the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance is not the fight riff. That's the alma mater. The fight riff is the, oh, say does that star spangled.
And then you hear, lift every...
Yeah.
Till earth and heaven.
Play the fight riff. Play the fight riff.
And
the home of the...
full of the hope that the presence has...
Yeah, great.
I guess we won't sing Lift Every Voice and sing.
Oh, no. That's not the fight riff.
Like a wrong fight riff. Even though in my school...
That song that song is not the black fight riff. That song is what you play to calm black folks down.
True.
That song will get black folks to stand at attention. You want to play the black fight riff? Play Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? When I got that ass in mine, y'all thought it was ready? Flexing on me, just I like my body that's finished. Hey,
that joint right there gets you hype as a motherfucker.
Hey, I've been
right
at
there.
a show before, and it wasn't a comedy show, it was a party, and they played that, and I was looking around the room,
yeah,
and I saw some of these dudes I knew just came home, and they were just sitting there like,
yeah. Hey, that song, when it starts off, I used to wait for times like this to make you look around the room like, I will fuck that nigga up. Fuck that nigga. And then as soon as like, hold on, wait a minute, you just start walking over there like, God damn it, this. Make you want to take a hunting bow and a sword to a protest.
Look, see, but that's probably what they were listening to when the nigga showed up with a sword. They were running like, oh, this nigga got a sword. Like
they were listening. They were listening to Black Sabbath.
Yeah, you said they were listening to Black Sabbath.
Yeah, they were listening to I down, I. Crazy ass, that's how it goes. People.
I don't think that's not Black Sabbath at all. But I mean,
my song came to mind was the Road Warriors intro music. Iron Man.
Oh, that okay. So that makes you want to fight.
No.
Right. That shit make you want to do something. That's Black Sabbath.
A nigga gotta get power drive.
Or
gotta put the knee on a white person's neck.
Or Stone Cold Son.
True. Or matter of fact, or what are we talking about earlier? Hold on. I got it on my phone somewhere. The spear that we saw.
The Goldberg spear.
That's the Goldberg. Yeah.
With the officer who approached you see the officer and the protester, and the officer has like a bayonet or something, and you just see Goldberg.
They not ready. Crazy. That's how it goes. Whoa.
Well.
Man, this is where we are in 2020. This is a little scary.
Hey, let me tell you
2020 sucks.
Hey, this
terrible,
is halfway
terrible
through.
Year.
This is literally halfway.
We just got to the halfway point.
Can you picture what the 4th of July is gonna look like?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be instead of the Rockets red glare, it's gonna be a bunch of motherfuckers in there.
Yeah,
they've been arguing over that. And as a matter of fact, let me say this too. even though I don't live in DC anymore, still from DC. Shout out to Mayor Marion Bowser, whatever the fuck her name is, because Trump tried to send some shots for her.
Oh no, it wasn't tried. He sent shots.
Yeah.
He
was like, yeah, I was so proud of my Secret Service for holding up, and we put the young ones on the front lines, and this and that. He's like, on a bad note, Muriel Bowser wouldn't send any police because she said that's not her job.
Oh, and he started off by saying how she always asking for something.
And I said, you know what? That's what you get. Because she's not supposed to send the police, because if you've been paying attention to DC law and no taxation without representation, that's federal problems, nigga. That's for y'all. That ain't got nothing to do with DC police.
Yep.
Now it does, but before it did.
Look, a bunch of motherfuckers in DC as DC police already got overtime for having to work that non-populated inauguration for this whole ass motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
He swears there's more people in Terrence's background that was at this motherfucker whole ass inauguration.
True that.
Look, really more people in front of his house trying to get in and get at him than was at his inauguration. Yeah.
This motherfucker has had more death threats than people that was at his inauguration.
And the bad part is, if you've ever been by the White House, there's always someone protesting in front of the White House. There's always. No matter who it is, somebody is there. This nigga got people trying to get in to get at him. That's you, Trump.
Motherfuckers is trying to sign up for the Easter egg roll just to punch this motherfucker in the face.
Speaking of punching people in the face, have y'all seen the video of the kid he's not a kid, he's a grown-up, even though the video looks like he's a kid, where the cops try to get them off the basketball court in DC?
No.
They go up, try to get them off the basketball court. Next thing you know, you see this dude like, man, no, and he steals a cop. Cop tries to aggress him more. He catches the cop a couple times and like knocks the cop down on the ground. Of course, another cop is there, and then he runs. But while he's running, the other guys, of course, are like, oh, hey dog, how you gonna do that? You wild, son, you wild. Later on, they show once the cops caught him, and they're holding him, and this nigga just bleeding profusely out his head. And I'm like, what the fuck did you expect that you just randomly swung on a cop?
Oh, they're gonna beat the shit out of you.
Get off the court. You're lucky he just beat the shit out of you.
So did you see the video in Atlanta when the cops showed up and they had these little ass clear shields that said police on it, and the motherfuckers was filming it, the protesters was filming it, and they started laughing at it. It was a black dude that was a cop, and they was like, look at this little nigga's shield. It was like, look, and nigga, they zoned him out for 15 minutes, and he was laughing at everything. They was like, come on, old little shield ass nigga. They went on this motherfucker. They was joning this nigga for 15 minutes.
This nigga, and they tape wilding out down there sometimes too. He probably sitting there like, damn, DC young fly, leave me alone, dog.
Bruh.
My job.
If you think of Captain America shield, except a replica.
Or a replica.
I'm picturing not as many circles, like just get the star in one circle.
Just
there
two.
Yeah. 1, 2. There you go. All right.
That motherfucker said, them motherfuckers, the police showed up and they had their shits up. They was like, and dude's like, nigga, look, he pointed right at the black dude, like, nigga, look at your little ass shield having ass. That motherfucker stepped forward and started laughing like shit, like he trying to get away from the rest of them, like, no bullshit. Hey, that shit funny as hell. Let me tell you something. I will take a good joning over police brutality any day of the week.
Now, but here's the bad part. If the joning is too good, that might lead to police brutality. Yep, that's the reason why. You know what? That shit was funny. It ain't funny now, though, is it?
Yeah. I've been on the opposite end of that stick.
And you probably was deserving of it. I mean, just say that now, knowing you. Yeah. Somebody beside it, like, okay, stop, officer. He's had enough. He deserved that shit, but he's had enough. Let him go, please. I
will say that police brutality has nothing to do with black, white cops. It has everything to do with cops in general.
Yeah,
and that's why motherfuckers go at the uniform and the badge and not the person in it. And and a lot of times when motherfuckers are sitting there saying police are human, everybody's human, you know what I'm saying? You got to look past the badge. Nah, because when it comes down to it, even if you look at gang mentality and then gang related shit, if you got on blue, motherfuckers ain't coming to you and like, are you a Crip? They just shooting.
Yeah.
That's how that works. And when it comes down to that shit with police brutality and everything, at this point, motherfuckers don't give a fuck about who's inside the uniform or who's behind the badge.
And here's the thing. The thing you gotta remember that is that a cop, yes, okay, this is my uniform, this is just my job, but your job is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because if I go outside and some shit happens and you right there, and don't let me know that you're a cop. You are supposed to intervene. So nigga, you a cop all the damn time.
Dude, you a cop all the damn time because these motherfuckers get what's called an LEO permit, which means they can carry their gun off duty in any state, on planes, et cetera, et cetera.
That's what people used to be upset with.
Because of that, you always there.
Yeah, the cops, they upset with that and love.
In DC, by general order, a DC cop, if he is not out drinking, he is supposed to have his sidearm or service weapon on him at all times. That is a fact. That is a fucking fact. Which means you always on duty. As a matter of fact, my mom was at the Annapolis Mall and a motherfucker tried to rob K Jewelers and an off-duty cop shot that motherfucker right in front of my mother.
Done.
Right. So that lets me know if you are hanging out with the fam, you still supposed to be strapping your shit.
Yep. True. Because they get upset if they go to a club and the club doesn't allow them to bring the guns in.
Exactly.
That was the issue with Love nightclub. That they didn't allow cops to come in with their guns.
I just took my Utah conceal and carry, John, and
I already have mine.
Yeah, this is
Utah.
Oh yeah. So Utah is recognized in what 35 states.
Yeah, and Utah has the most reciprocity.
Reciprocity though, but it's also recognized in
reciprocity. That's what it is.
Even though, recognized is different than reciprocity. Reciprocity means that they have a deal.
That's what it is.
No, but recognized means that even if you're not a Utah citizen, Utah resident, this license still carries weight in this state, and not outside of reciprocity. So there's reciprocity states, because Virginia is a reciprocity state,
right?
Which means they have an agreement. But these motherfuckers will come at you and say, "No, you know what? We don't want to adhere to our reciprocity agreement." There's a difference between recognizing and signing an agreement that you will recognize. So Virginia doesn't recognize Florida anymore. And that's also a reciprocity thing with them. They don't recognize it anymore. But they recognize Utah.
So here's my question. If you showed up in, let's say, DC or Maryland or Virginia, whichever one, if you showed up at their courthouse, their state house, whatever, like the other people do with all their guns.
You can't do that in no government facility. You cannot bring it. That is across the board. You cannot bring a gun in none of that shit.
Obviously, it's not across the board if.
And what were they? Because the brothers that took the Michigan senator or whoever she was, the black dudes that walked the black lady to work with guns, they walked her to the steps, but not up the steps.
Well, did you see that? How they had I'm trying to remember whose house it was. God damn, it was recently where they showed somebody who was in the news recently, and I'm trying to remember exactly which person it was, but that this dude had black people in front of his house, and I want to say it might have been old boy that we talking about that started all this, but either way, no, it might have been the two white guys that killed the kid that was jogging, but either way, in front of his house, he got black militia people just outside of his house with a gun. Yeah,
but they wasn't protecting. They weren't protecting that dude. They was out. They was out like, if the fucking cops want to show up and try some crazy shit, we gonna fuck them up. But that's not federal property.
Yeah, but either way, even with that though, the police show up and was like, we're not gonna drive all the way down the street.
That's different. Yeah,
but
that's different.
But why is it? So if we tried that here, if we say, you know what, we're gonna approach the step.
So Maryland is, you got to have pretty much an act of Congress to get a concealed carry or any type of gun permit to walk around with the shit on you. You have to have like threats to your life. You got to have a business in which you carry cash. And even still, on top of that, you got to take a $350 class to show you what you can and what you cannot do. And even on top of that, you still have to carry your shit to and from places of business only. Not just, so if I take my Utah conceal and carry to Virginia, I can literally just go to fucking Target. But here's the thing, I can't go into Target because there's certain places that even though you have a conceal and carry, they may have provisions that say no guns allowed. And then you have to adhere to that.
Yeah, they can just put it on the door, no guns.
They can put it on their website.
Yeah.
And
meanwhile, though, in Georgia, you can carry it around. It just got to be on the front seat.
So so if it's so conceal and carry means that you can't even show the shit. Like they're not supposed to know this.
Ice Cube, is there a problem? Is there a problem here?
Right. What you're talking about is they have that in Virginia also, in Texas, Georgia. That's open carry.
Yeah,
open carry. Open carry state is different. Open carry, you can walk around. It just needs to be out in the open. That's it. It just needs to be out. That's why you go down south. You go down south, like my grandfather and all my uncles got gun racks in their pickups because they're just sitting in the back window. That's open carry. You can just walk. You can just carry around. You can just drive around with it. You go down there, everybody got a shotgun in the back of their window because it's it's been times my uncles be driving down the road, see a deer, just stop, shoot it, throw it in the back of the truck, and keep on going. I mean, that's just during deer season.
That's just dinner.
Right. That's what they just do. I mean, they're doing that forever.
I'm a provider.
Yeah, that's just what they do. But hey.
Oh well.
2020 sucks.
You know what? Let's wrap it up with saying this. Stay safe. Stay masked up. Stay home if you can. If you want to protest, stay safe. Stay aware. Keep your eyes open to the people that don't belong there. That's not for the movement. If they not, snatch them up. Fuck them up. I.e., swordsman or huntsman.
Yeah. And outside of that,
while
you're at home, catch up on all our past episodes.
Gotta keep you safe. Wash your hands.
Go to our YouTube page. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know when new episodes come out.
Get the merch, god damn it.
That's right. Go to the website, winebottles.com.
Get the merch and go to the protest wearing the merch. We'd love it.
Hey, there it is.
That would be great.
And then kill somebody. That way you can get locked up with
the shirt on. That's free advertisement. I love that.
It'll be in the mugshot.
Right.
Kill a nigga publicly, like.
Yeah. Ta-da!
All right, guys. So episode 47. Wrap it up.
47.
07.
Hey, episode 50. Let's do conspiracy theories.
I feel like we had some new ones.
Right now, I mean, we could just talk about what's going on now.
We got some new ones between now and then.
Good gosh, man.
No bullshit. You know what? As we close.
All right, T'Challa. This nigga, man. I swear. All right. On that note, guys, we out. Peace.